Hi everyone. My name is Stan Kiraga. I'm the founding chair, and now programs executive from Malindi District Cultural Association, MATCA. MATCA was started in 2003, and the main objective was to protect and preserve our cultural heritage as well as our cultural expressions that were fast becoming obsolete. Over the years, MATCA have done so many things. Some of our achievements include fighting for Mekatilili. Mekatilili was a forgotten heroine of the Kenyan Mijikenda people who fought the British in the early 1900s from 1913, 1914, in what is now called the Guyama Uprising of 1913, 1914. She was forgotten, and over the years we've tried to highlight her activities and fight for her until recently she got, a few years ago, she got a dodo by Google, and again last year she was enacted. Her statue got recognition and was enacted at the gate of Uhuru Gardens, National Museums and Monuments. So that was a big achievement. First, in the cultural expression setup, people were very shy, and they didn't want to show who they were in terms of culture. It was deemed backward or barbarous, barbaric. But over the years, since 2004, we started Mekatilili Cultural Festival, and this has been going on, and with several other activities. Every other time, we are proud to present our cultural attire, and right now we can say that there's no wedding that goes or that happens in Kilifi without a cultural or a traditional attire. So it is being worn proudly. Again, one of it is music. Right now, Manzera is one of the most popular music around in the joints in Kilifi. So that is another achievement that we are proud to have participated and pushed for. In 2015, we realized that there were a lot of cultural artifacts, actually memorial statues on the Vigango. These are the spirits of departed souls, of which they usually have our go between us and our Creator. So they are a very important artifacts in the family. But they were stolen during the colonial days. They were also stolen again after independence. And we realized that a lot of them have gone, and so we started a campaign for their repatriation. That we have managed to achieve. First batch was in 2001 when we got about 40 of them. And recently, last week, we received another batch of 88. The war is still on. It is still, the campaign is still continuing because after mapping, we realized that about 32,000 pieces exist in Europe, America, Australia, and Canada. So that is a huge loss for the community. So we are still pushing for that, but we can say we have achieved that. Again, we have achieved cooking still that pride that was lacking, which it is not up to far, but we can say it is growing, and also the knowledge about our past, the knowledge about our culture, our religion is also growing up. So those are some of our achievements. This year, we are hosting yet another chapter of Mekatilili Cultural Festival. That is the 20th chapter since we started in 2004. And this one is deemed to be the biggest of all. It will be a 4-day affair where the first day, on the 10th of August, will be painting the streets of Malindi town in traditional regalia. It will be merry and music and showing our prides Mijikenda ourselves. Again, on the 14th, on the 11th, we'll be heading to Shakahola briefly for interfaith prayers and cleansing, but mostly interfaith prayers. This where different faith groups will come together, different denominations will come together to pray and to offer thanks to God for what we are so far, but mostly to sensitize the community on what happened, on what has happened with the Shakahola massacre. We want to showcase also Shakahola that it is not just hell, it is also heaven. It has also its history, it has also its culture, it has its value in our society, and that's something that we want to change in the eyes and the heads of the community. On the 12th, mark this day because we'll be in Malindi town with a lot of cultural expressions, cultural woods, where we'll be showing artistry, how things are made and how they are being consumed, and they'll be there for sale. So there'll be a Mijikenda Soccer Fest. This will be it will be launched in the morning and it will run for 2 days. Again, on the same day, we'll have traditional games and sports. I know people are used to soccer and other modern games, but we had our own traditional games, and these are dying. And that's why we want kids and adults to come on this day to relearn their past, to see how proud we are with our own traditional games and sports, and to participate. There will be workshops, there will be also competitions on the same. There will be also some children singing games on the same day. We'll have also storytelling, a lot of traditional winery. On the next day, we'll have some drumming workshops and dancing workshops in the morning, and then the real activity or the real fest now begins with over 40 different genres of traditional music performing at the same time with that vigor and enthusiasm to be merry, so you can be able to enjoy different genres, go from one place to another, and keep enjoying and learning different dancing styles, different sounds. All these things will be happening in Malindi. So I hope that you will be available. You will set that date aside for this to mark our culture and to give respect to the mother of freedom, Mekatilili Menza.